company had to close the office building for about a month. So we all had to work from home, which everybody would normally think, yay. But what happened was I ended up sitting at home working from home, and I was like, ooh, other than the people I worked with every day, I didn't spend time with anybody. That did not sound like hanging out with girlfriends on the Riviera. It did not. And so at that point, I had to make a decision. I had to say, in order to get to my optimal outcome, in order to follow the path to get there, I had to make a decision. I had to stop right then and say, the picture in my head, I want that. I'm committed to having that. That's the thing that I want. And when I did that, amazingly enough, when I did that, all of a sudden, I found that things along my regular activities popped up and said, oh, well, if you do this, you'll have more flexibility. If you change the company if you change your clients, the types of clients that you go after, you'll have a little more flexibility. If you readjust, when I was working for another company, if you readjust and request, you're doing all kinds of, you're bending into a pretzel, you're Gumby for the company, so ask them for something. If you ask them for a little bit more flexibility, maybe you can go to your cousin's wedding. Hadn't been to a wedding in a while, and there were several, but I hadn't been to one. I showed up at that wedding. They were like, oh, she came. Like, we don't have a seat for her. I was scrambling. Then they're like, oh, well, yeah, we did invite you. Get a spot. And I ended up at the family table. But it was purely coincidental because they absolutely did not expect me to come. When the expectations that people have of you, that you're not going to be in their lives, then they don't make room for you. When you have expectations of other people to be in your life and they don't show up on a regular basis, you should no longer have room for them because they're not coming. And why keep saving the space? They're not coming. Until they hit their epiphany moment, they're not coming. So keep inviting them because you want them to know you love them. But don't keep saving space for them. Use that space for something else until they get it. And when they get it, then you can bring them back in. But they have to get it. Nobody was going to be able to tell me, you need to go to so-and-so's wedding, you need to go to this anniversary, you need to go to this. Nobody was able to tell me that because my answer was, I'm busy. I got things to do. I'm busy. I can't make it. I'm so sorry. And they're like, okay. So I had to make the commitment for the picture in my head to happen, and then I started noticing that I started looking for, paying attention to, opportunities to have what I wanted. I started getting my inspiration along the way because I actually had something I was thinking for. I had something I was considering that I wanted. I was working toward a, dare I say it, goal. I had a goal. And goals are not always money, and they're not always, fame and fortune, although those are nice. But sometimes a goal is, I want this lifestyle. I want to be able to live this way. So I want my house, and I want my lanai, and I want my pool, and I want to hang out, and I want to, twice a year, go out of the country and shop. Of course I want all of this. They're like, and I'm looking at my bank account, and I'm like, ooh, it's not there. But it's what I want to do. So then this is what I learned. Because I thought, okay, so I'm breaking down the pictures in the optimal outcome that I want. So in that picture, I saw friends, I saw travel, I saw a nice house, I saw a pool, I was dressed lovely. I saw shopping, I saw all kinds of things that I wanted. Okay, so these are things that I want. So along the way, I have to prepare or position myself so that either I can go get them or they can come to me. Come to me is better. But you need to position yourself so that you can get the things that you want. And along the way, you will find those items, those activities, those opportunities for you to move in that direction. And the path that you may have been on, whereas my life trajectory that I wanted it was moving this way. And where I was moving was that way. And I wasn't going to get back here unless I was going to make this broad turn this way at some point. And I did at some point. I decided I'm on this trajectory, but it's not where I want to be. So let me pull out my life GPS and tell myself, of all the things that I want, where are they? Just like when you're going to a city you've never been to before, and you're like, well, where's this item, and where's that item? And you pull out a map, and you say, well, I want to go here, and I want to go there. And you start plotting the path to get there. Well, I started plotting the path to get to the thing I wanted, that I said, yep, I want to have that. I guess I just thought it was going to magically appear. And along the way, things came about that showed me how to make the detours, how to make the turns, how to make the shifts so that I could get there. When I finally decided that the one thing I absolutely had to give up was the workaholic thing, then that was a serious decision for me, because that was a habit change. Ooh, habit changes. I got to do something different. Not, other things do different around me. I have to do something different. So I had to decide, you know what? I'm not going to work till 8 o'clock at night and then bring my laptop home and connect to the internet and eat dinner in front of the TV and then work again till midnight, 11 or midnight. I'm not going to do that anymore. And I thought, well, what's my manager going to say? I've got commitments. They depend on me. Yeah, that's what I had decided. They depend on me. They do depend on you. And you know what? If you do it, they expect it. And the one time that you stop doing it, then they decide, well, what's wrong? Why did you change? You're not meeting your expectations because you set an expectation that is way higher than you ever should have set for yourself, that completely constrained and hurt you and gave all the benefit for your life essence and effort to somebody else. You gave it away. And then when you decided you wanted it back, their response is, well, what's wrong with you? Why are you not doing this? You have to make that decision to say, you know what? But I want this. And push that. And I'm willing to make that change. And in addition to that, I'm willing for you not to be happy about it. Because I was stepping way beyond the borders and boundaries that I should have stepped anyway. So now, I'm going to move those borders and boundaries back into something reasonable so that I can have a life. So that I can achieve my optimal lifestyle. So that I can have what I want. And I can move forward to get it. Now there's time. I was so busy I didn't have time to do anything. I guess so. I'm working, 12, 14, 16 hours a day for the job, and Saturday too. I don't have time for anything. But how did I fix that? I decided I wasn't going to work 12, 16 hours a day for the job. Did that have consequences? Yes. My job was not happy. But you know what? Jobs are jobs. Business is business. It will continue on. As you shift, it will shift. As you adjust, it will adjust. But if you don't make the effort to adjust, it doesn't have to, because it's getting more benefit out of it than you are. So why should it change? So where's the account? Where's the commitment change? Where's the habit change gotta happen? It's gotta happen with me and the vision that I have in my head for where I want to be. And I have to aim for it. In order to aim for it, I have to make this habit change. And then I said, okay, so I'm gonna stop working so many hours. Making a habit change like that is hard. It's very, very hard. So I set up little parameters, little things that would help me, little key things. And I would set it up, and the first one that I set up was purely happenstance. The garage locked down, the auto garage for where we parked our cars for work, locked down at 7 o'clock. Okay, that became my key. It's like, by 7 o'clock I need to be out that door. Because what I don't need to have to do is walk down 5 flights into the garage and back up 5 flights to get to my car. Okay, so I stopped doing that. And everything, I had everything set up. At 6 o'clock, I had a reminder at 6:30, I had a reminder, 6:45, I had a reminder, 6:52, I had a reminder, and I just set them on my phone because it was habit for me to just keep going. I had to break that habit somehow. And so if I stepped out that door at 7 o'clock, yes, I won, I made it. And then I celebrated. I did something, whatever it was small, it was gonna be small, it wasn't gonna be a big deal, and I wasn't gonna go out and buy a car or something. But I was gonna do something that said, yay me, yay me. I used to mentor a young lady who had a couple of car accidents and ended up with a debilitating disease. And one of the things that she would do when she finally achieved the ability to do something that she had, some physical activity that she had lost, she'd say, yay me. And I love that about her. It's like, yay me, I like that. Yes, yay me. So when I stepped outside that door before that 7 o'clock thing, I was like, yay me. And I celebrated for that. I made that a big deal. That wasn't just, whew, I made it, It was more than that. It was the beginning of me making a shift towards the picture in my mind that I want as my lifestyle, my optimal outcome. And I enjoyed that. And once I did that, then I was like, ooh. And here's the thing about success. When you get success in one area, you're like, yes, I'm a success. I can do it. I'm good. Woohoo! And then you can do it again. You know why? Because you did it once already. And anything you did once, you can do again. But if you don't do it once, then it seems like, oh my God, is this ever too hard to do? And you can't get it done. So how do I look for inspiration along the way? I look for the things that point in the direction for the thing that I want. And those things come up because once your mind is aware, and it's like, oh, she's serious about this. She means it. I've heard her say that before, but she wasn't serious before. She just said it, When she was sitting around with a bunch of friends and they were chit-chatting, she was lying. But now she's serious about it. She's doing something toward it. Okay, so then your whole body gets on board. Your mind gets on board, your eyes get on board, your thoughts get on board, your mouth gets on board, and you start talking about what you're looking for, what you want. And what happens when you're talking about something you're looking for in a room full of women? They help you find it. Help you find it. And so all of a sudden now you have engaged the help of everybody around you in order to get where you want to go, just because you made the commitment that that's what you wanted to do and that's where you wanted to go. And the inspiration that keeps coming and swirling around you is initiated from you, but once you put it out into the atmosphere and around your friends and around your activities and so forth, it all starts to swirl around and come together. And now you've got things that come to you that are leading you in that direction. Opportunities you've never heard of before because somebody says, hey, I know Pamela's looking for, let me call her. Or somebody else said, I know somebody who's looking for that. Let me give you her number. Okay? And things start to come in your path. Now, here's what happens when you start moving in your path and things start happening. You got successes and things are looking good. And you're like, yes, I'm thrilled. And then Irma shows up. Irma shows up. And it's like, wait a minute, you were not in my plate. And so what do you do with Irma when Irma shows up and shuts everything down and all the people that were looking out for all the people were looking out for things for you and now they're focused on other things. Do you say, oh, I lost it because something got in the way? You adjust. Exactly. You put in your life GPS and you work around it. You would do it for anybody else. You would do it for everybody else. Most of us can't think of a person that we would not truly readjust our lives for. Because you usually don't surround yourself with people you wouldn't. So if you would adjust for all the people around you, why would you adjust for you? You've got to be as important, right? Because here's the deal. Yeah, you're more important. Exactly. Because here's the deal. For every one of us, I'm standing in this spot now, okay? There are 9 people I know that are in my circle that I would do anything for. I just got a message from my nephew who's 22 years old. He is starting his last year in college and he's decided to go on for his master's. I would do anything for that kid. And I told him, I said, Tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. He's not accustomed to doing that, so I teach him. But, and there are other people that I would, there are other people that I would do that for. There are other